We have with us Frank Viault. He's the head of cooperation for EU in India. Frank, thank you for taking out time and speaking to DD India. We were talking about various initiatives under the CDRI. Tell us about the project that involves India, UK and Australia, and something that has been in the works for a very long time. Tell us about the progress of that project and what it is has been able to achieve so far.
This IRIS program is about an initiative for resilient infrastructure in small island developing states. So the first call for proposal has been launched by CDRI, and the first 6 or 7 projects have been starting being implemented from Jamaica to Fiji, and they are providing solutions to build resilience in the small island countries, because their economy and their populations are the most and infrastructures are the most vulnerable in the world in terms of proportion, to their economy and the size of their population. So you have a wide range of projects that start to be implemented around the world and managed by CDRI and partners, and they provide solutions for having more resilient water supply infrastructure or more resilient transport infrastructures, and bringing the lessons from around the world. So that's really the flagship program of CDRI for the time being, but focusing on small island developing states.
And Frank, we were also talking about projects that have been undertaken with India as well. Tell us about those projects and how important has it become to partner with India when it comes to disaster risk management and building resilient infrastructure to mitigate crisis in the future?
Yes, India is highly vulnerable to disasters, and we were told this morning that I think it was the US ambassador mentioning that 7 million people in India are vulnerable to disasters. And the first area of cooperation of the Team Europe in India under our EU Global Gateway initiative is on sustainable urbanization. And there we are working with the various members of the Team Europe. So we have the European Commission, the EU, and we have also the banks, the financial partners. We have France, we have Germany, we have the European Investment Bank, and we are contributing to build modern infrastructures in Indian municipalities, and we have some flagship programs like the Cities program with Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and one of the objectives is, and we have other tools and programs that are working in the sustainable urbanization topic, which are also working, for instance, on developing the concept with the private sector of green buildings. So all this is interlinked, and because those green buildings have also to be resilient to disaster. So that's and there is also a good partnership between Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and those municipalities, and more and more with CDRI when CDRI capacity is being built. So it's highly interesting.
Right. Do you see a change in the policy when it comes to disaster management? It's no longer disaster management, it's now disaster risk management. There is a serious concern around weather-related crisis and how we need to be prepared in advance when it comes to all these initiatives. Do you see a positive movement forward, and what more do you think needs to be done in this area?
Okay, very important topic. We have learned we are learning every year when disasters are coming. The tsunami in 2004, the more recent earthquake in Nepal, and other cyclones. It reminds me what I think the ambassador of Bhutan was saying the other day. They are quite good, and I think in India it's the same as saving lives. So disaster risk reduction to save lives, But we are less good for the time being at preventing major damage on infrastructure. So we have seen recently the airport of Dubai, which was completely flooded. So that's why CDRI makes sense, because it's of course focusing on human lives, but also on making all our infrastructures more resilient to avoid big economic and financial loss. So that's maybe an area of DRR where we need to invest more. Of course, priority is on saving lives, but saving infrastructure and economic infrastructures in particular is also extremely important. Otherwise, you spend your time and your budget in rebuilding your own infrastructures. And because that's precisely why CDRI starts working with small island developing states, because their infrastructures are proportionally, what I was saying at the beginning, more vulnerable to disasters.